Jay with Jay's Vintage Cruiser, and we're here today to talk about a pressure tank. This is a 1 gallon pressure tank, and this will come in handy when you're a dry camper and use your freshwater tank instead of city water. So if you're a city water person, you really don't need one of these. This is really only for when you were using your freshwater tank in your pump. What this does is this allows your pump not to cycle on and off as much. So they're really easy to install. You just have to get it after the pump, and I've got a good place in my 19 ERD to install it. They do make these in a 1/2 gallon tank, a little smaller, easier to find a little hidey hole for it. So you'll need the tank, obviously. You'll need a small section of 1/2 inch pipe, and shark bite fittings is what I went with. They're real easy to install, no tools. All you need is a little pipe cutter, and they just slip on, lock into place, and you can actually remove them if you need to. So let's get this thing installed and see how it does. And we're going to start by comparing what it's like flushing the toilet without the pressure tank and see how it works. So let's get started. All right, we're here in the bathroom. I've got the system pressurized using the water pump, and let's see how long it takes for it to kick on. So that wasn't very long, maybe a couple seconds, and that was only on a 1/2 pedal flush. So let's see what happens when we just kick on the full, like we're flushing the toilet. That's almost instantaneous. So let's get that pressure pump installed and see where we stand. All right, so we're here at the hot water tank, and we are going to tie this pressure tank into this blue pipe. So we'll use a T and elbow, drill a hole through there, and we'll mount the tank to that wall. We just got to drill a couple holes to support it, and then that should do it. It doesn't really matter which way you mount these, but vertically I believe is better, because then when you go to drain the system, all the water will drain out of it. You won't have to worry about it for the winter time. So first thing I'm going to do is mount this tank against this wall, and we'll get that done. I'll be right back. All right, so one thing I forgot is we need to connect this piece to the bottom of the tank, and you'll need some Teflon tape, because these are NPT threads, National Pipe Threads, and so we just need to put that on there first, because once we get it mounted, it'll be hard to get that on there. So just make sure you check your connection type to your pressure tank. All right, so we've mounted the tank, drilled our hole to come through the bottom. Now we're going to tie into that blue line. I just got to go shut the pump off and pull the low point drains, and then we'll be right back. All right, so I have cut in the pipe. One thing, make sure you don't, if you're doing this in an ERD, watch that. I should have moved it over further, but it looks like we're going to line up okay. And I just knocked the cap off, but that cap comes off, and then you need to test the air pressure. And we're almost to 30. Sorry about that. So it should be around 30 psi is what I've read. Play with it, see how it works for you. But now I'm going to fire the pump up and see what happens if I have any leaks or not. Alright, so I got it hooked up, and I did not have some of these connections in all the way, had a major leak. So just make sure you get those in there good and tight, or you'll be cleaning up a mess. So let's go into the bathroom and see how long it takes to flush the toilet now before the water kicks on. Alright, we're here in the bathroom. Let's see how long it takes to kick on the pump now. 3, 2, 1, flush. So it takes a little bit, so you could do a couple flushes. The downside is the pump runs for a little bit longer.
So you can do a half flush, and that's not going to kick on the pump. And the faucet actually runs, so you can get a drink of water, rinse your hands. That's quite a bit. So, alright, well, if you're a dry camper, it's not a bad idea. So good luck and happy camping.